What is going on there, everyone? Well, this does not bode well for the progressive side of the Democratic Party. You know, the ones they like to prop up. Bill Gates says Warren isn't open-minded like Trump. Won't rule out MAGA vote. Wow. Coming from someone like Bill Gates, this is kind of big. But this is what happens when this is just a little sign of what could be to come if someone like Warren wins on her policies that she wants to enact with these crazy taxes and stuff for the rich, which will inevitably trickle down to us all of us little people. But let's get into this real quick. Microsoft founder Bill Gates criticized 2020 Democrat presidential candidate Senator Elizabeth Warren on Wednesday and refused to rule out voting for President Donald Trump over her. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. It's music to my ears. And I don't even like Bill Gates, like, at all. Speaking to New York Times financial columnist Andrew Ross Sorkin at a conference in New York, Gates said that he supports super progressive tax systems and estate tax, but he was still skeptical of Warren's proposed wealth tax, saying there's a limit to what he would be willing to pay. I've said it 1,000 times. Americans have went to war over taxes, Elizabeth Warren. You are fully aware of that, right? That's kind of how the whole inception of America happened, as we know it, because of taxes. Americans don't like to give their money away to the government, who just waste it most of the time. Quote, I've already paid over $10 billion in taxes. I've paid more than anyone in taxes, Gates said, who has also given away tens of billions through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. If I had to pay $20 billion, it's fine. But when you say I should pay $100 billion, then I'm starting to do a little math about what I have left over. Gates said, if you tax too much, you do risk discouraging capital formation and innovation in the United States. Agreed. And this is something conservatives have been bringing up a lot. That if you just sit here and say, hey, we're going to just tax the ultra-rich. What makes you think that the ultra-rich, first off, are going to stay here and just be taxed to oblivion? They can move. They can leave. They can go somewhere else. They can set their company up somewhere else. A lot of people use Ireland now because their tax system's very friendly towards business. But, yeah, I don't think any of these progressives are really thinking their policies out, like, fully. People aren't just going to sit back and have all of their wealth taken just to be spread out among other people that some aren't even necessarily deserving of said help. I don't understand. And I don't think a lot of these ultra-rich billionaires and millionaire types understand it either, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Even Democratic strategists are saying Elizabeth Warren and her $52 trillion Medicare for All plan is going to kill that type of policy for generations to come, because it's obscene. It's absolutely crazy. And she knows it, and everyone knows it. That's why do you think it took her so long to even come out and say how she thinks that she could get this money? It's because it's so crazy. It's just nonsensical. When Sorkin asked Gates if you would consider sitting down with Massachusetts Senator, the billionaire doubted she would want to hear from a rich person like him. I'm not sure how open-minded she is, or that she'd even be willing to sit down with somebody who has large amounts of money, he said. By contrast, Gates has previously praised Trump as open-minded, though he has also privately taken shots at the president. Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Any famous person inevitably is going to sooner or later take a shot at the president, it seems. It's not even special. Sorkin followed up by asking Gates whom he would vote for in a general election showdown between Warren and Trump. I'm not going to make political declarations, Gates said, but I do think no matter what policy someone has in mind, whoever I decide will have the more professional approach in the current situation. Probably is the thing I will weigh the most. I hope that the more professional candidate is an electable candidate. You see this. You can see that Bill Gates clearly doesn't want to support Donald Trump. He likes Donald Trump because of, the economy's booming. Everything's just working out. As long as you don't listen to the mainstream legacy media, because they will have you think the complete opposite of what's actually happening. They want everyone to think the world's ending because of global warming, this, that, and the other. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's the same nonsense we've been hearing for a couple years now. But the electable candidate. See, that's a funny phrase that he put it that way, because that's one thing we have been talking about with the left and their 2020 nominees, or people they want to be the nominees for 2020. Is most of them aren't electable. They're just not electable. But who's to say what's electable? Because a lot of people thought Donald Trump wasn't electable. So I'm not gonna, beat him up over that, but so much. But I'll say their policies are very much unelectable policies. I mean, their policies are crazy. We're gonna be broke as a nation. I mean, her Medicare plan is twice as much as our national debt is. Already. We already have like a $22 to $24 trillion national debt. And she wants us to come up with the money to spend an extra $52 trillion a year. Huh. It doesn't make sense. And I do believe she also is kind of in support of getting rid of private healthcare, which is absolutely insane on the face of it. If someone's willing to pay more to get better health care, they should have that right. Wouldn't you say so? Isn't that kind of how... Never mind. I'm not even going to get into it. Hours later, Warren responded on Twitter saying she would be happy to meet with Gates. She promised not to tax him $100 billion as president. Well, she's going to say whatever the heck she can say to smooth this one over. Because if Bill Gates, he's just one of many millionaires and billionaires in this country. We are an extraordinarily wealthy country. We have extraordinarily wealthy people in our country. I think more than any other country out there. If he's but one person actually vocalizing his thoughts about this, don't you think that all the other big business people, the people that actually really fund the country for the most part, don't you think they're all sitting here scratching their heads about Elizabeth Warren's plan? I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure they all are. Warren's left-wing populist campaign, I disagree, has threatened to push undecided voters on Wall Street and across the country into supporting Trump. A $59 trillion. Medicare for All plan she unveiled last week increased her promised wealth tax to 6% on billionaires. Even sympathetic liberals have faulted the proposal as unrealistic. Many, but by no means all, experts have argued that taxing wealth is unconstitutional. Well, we also have this problem with what people presume they have. They think that because someone's worth, I'm just going to throw out random numbers. Say someone's worth $20 billion. That's their net worth. That doesn't mean they have that cash on hand. That's just their net worth. That doesn't mean they even, own $20 billion in liquid cash. So I don't fully understand how she would be able to say, oh, you make this much, so we're going to tax the bejesus out of you. Or are they going to go, it's either going to be, you make this much and we're going to tax the bejesus out of you, or your net worth is this much, so we're going to tax you. Like, all that needs to be clarified first off. Are you going to tax people on what they actually have? Or are you going to tax people on what they're presumed to be worth? And we know the left likes to work off assumptions and presumptions. So we see that with everything. Every single thing in the past 3 years has been exactly that way. But is it unconstitutional? I think there might be an argument there. I think they might have a discrimination argument. And I'm just saying, this looks like this plan as it sits could completely unravel Elizabeth Warren's presidential run, because not a lot of people are down with this. Not a lot of very powerful people like this. And as much as I hate it, and probably most of you watching hate it, those powerful people are powerful to the point where when they want something, they usually get it, and if they don't want something, that person will slowly fade away. Or quickly, depending on who you are. You know, we've seen some very powerful political families see their enemies just disappear. Very interesting. But that's a whole nother subject. Well, from what I'm getting, a lot of people are not going to support this extreme progressive Medicare for all from Elizabeth Warren, and nor should they, and nor should anybody, because like I always say, it's about the economy for me. That will destroy our economy. We don't have that type of money just laying around. We just don't. 52 or 59 trillion. I thought it was 52. 59 trillion? My God, that's incredible. But I'd love to hear your comments, whether you think, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or whether you're with me and just say, this woman's out of her mind. She's going to destroy everything. But who knows? We'll see what happens, I guess. And as always, like, share, subscribe. I will catch you on the flip side.